My name is Borodkin, and I am a PAVA advocate with Disability Rights New York. And today I am going to be talking to you about my daily experience with the MTA from the Clark Street station at the 2 and the 3. My disability is cerebral palsy. It's a muscular disability where some muscles don't function at all and some muscles overfunction, and this does affect my daily commute when using the MTA. So for instance, when I get on the train, some stations don't have an elevator. I either have to use the stairs or I have to ask for help from strangers, and while I'm fine with doing so, it adds to the time it takes me to get to work from my house, which takes about an hour and 15 minutes. Because I live all the way uptown in Harlem. I've been living there for 4 years now, and I've been living in New York City since I was born, so for 30 years. So there's an elevator at Clark Street Station, but that elevator only goes to another level with a path straight ahead, and then there are stairs after that path. So this station is by no means accessible, even though it has an elevator. And I also have to use the turnstiles to get to the elevator, and there's no other way for me to get to the elevator except to use the turnstiles, and that can sometimes be difficult as my crutches can get stuck to the ground, or I have trouble moving through the turnstile itself. When I was in a walker, I had to adapt to my surroundings differently than I do now that I'm in crutches. So going through the turnstiles wasn't even an option, and if I was going downstairs, then somebody would have to carry the walker down the stairs and also help me. Now that I'm on crutches, not only am I faster, but my environment has gotten bigger since I can fit into more spaces, and that has caused me to kind of change the way I see my environment and to adapt in a different way than I did when I was in a walker. So there are millions and millions of people that ride the subways every day. And one of the things that I always emphasize, whether it's about transportation or voter access, is that no matter who you are, no matter how old you are going to become disabled eventually, whether it's loss of vision, loss of mobility, loss of hearing. You are going to become disabled, and you are going to need some sort of accommodation. So my call to the MTA would be, while the biggest complaint is that the trains don't run on time, it's to put more funding and more focus toward making your subway stations accessible. As of right now, only 25% of the subway stations in New York City are considered accessible, and that's not even counting Clark Street, which, as I mentioned before, does have an elevator, but you still need steps to get to the actual platform. So my call would be to focus your funding and your attention on accessibility. Talk to people with disabilities, and not only people with disabilities, but ask them about their experiences taking the subway. Make them part of the MTA administration. Have them go on panels and work in the MTA, because it's all about perspective. And from a personal perspective, I think there are things that need to be improved with the MTA. And when you can integrate personal perspective with administration, I think then you come up with more solutions that are fit to people's needs.